Hello and welcome to Eternal Noir 3.0. In this video we will go over how to character thread. So you've got your character sheet open, or your character thread open rather, and you're wondering, how do I do threads? Well, let's go over a few things. First, you'll notice this section here, which you posted, your original submission, is fully editable by you. So as you can see right now, I'm logged on as Excited New Player and not as my ST skin Xolotl. So I can fully edit this. No problem. This one, I don't have an edit button. And that's because this is where your character sheet lives and only a storyteller can edit it. So you'll see on your sheets, or sorry, on your threads, posts maybe not exactly like this, but similar to this. So we encourage you to post your aspirations as you make them up, and as you fulfill them, you can keep track of them down here. This section can also be used for other things. For instance, if you are a vampire and have blood ties to another character or a blood bond, you could put this in here. For changelings, this is a good place to keep track of all your goblin fruit, since it is unlikely that we're going to be able to keep up on your sheet in real time. I also suggest if you play a crafting character, anything you're crafting, kind of keep track of it in here, because believe it or not, if you give that item to another player, a lot of times they forget the stats, and then they ask you, and rather than hunting through, say, we're a year and a half in, rather than hunting through like 30 pages of your thread, you can just look up here where you've actually posted it. So this first post is pretty much for anything you need to keep track of. This, of course, being your character sheet. Now, in order to do a thread action, you're going to want to hit reply. Now, we have some handy-dandy templates. You don't have to use the templates, but trust me as a storyteller, if you do use the templates, we will love you forever. So you'll find the templates if you go to Player's Corner, Character Thread Templates. Now, we have many itinerations of the templates that we find over the various incarnations of this website. I personally don't like this older scene summary one. It feels a little tedious to me, and also we don't have crossover anymore. And this XP spend request is fine, but we have a better streamlined version. The weekly actions one, however, we definitely use that one still. So the ones I like to use myself all start down here. And you'll see these nice ones that were made by Rares. For me, this is just a much more streamlined one. And you'll see the scene log one here. You don't have to do it in any particular order, but I find it works best if you do scene log, experience point, spends, and then weekly actions. That way, you'll get your XP, you'll spend your XP, and then you can use that XP you've spent on your thread actions. As a storyteller, I find that just streamlines a little bit better. So, the easiest way to do this is just copy. So if you click select all, Control C for copy, you just paste that in here. Boom. And when you preview it, it'll show you what it looks like. So let's say you did so this top line you leave blank. You also don't need the crossover line. I think there's actually a thread or one below it without. Yeah, this one actually is better to use. So apologies, I'm going to keep this in the video though, just to show you there are options. Boom. So date, we'll just put today's date, 11/6/23. Ran by, let's say you went to one of my scenes, which I did not have one today, but let's pretend I did. And you earn, let's say you earned 4 beats in that session. And then you're going to make a copy of the link to wherever you're storing your scene logs, which I will cover how to do that in an upcoming video. So for now, I'm going to leave this blank, just because I don't have any scene logs to show you. but you would put it here where it says URL here. And then let's say you went to one tomorrow, which obviously doesn't exist yet, but it's fun to make believe. And this one, oops. I'm famous for not being able to type, by the way, so bear with me. This one was run by the dog. You got 6 beats from that one. And I'm lazy and I'm not going to type this whole thing. I honestly usually just copy-paste rows at a time, but I'm also showing you that you can type it if you want. I don't want to. Now, I suggest after you've done your scene logs, submit it, because you can always edit this one later. Again, see how my name was written here, or my player name anyway. So I can fully edit this one. So then let's go back to our templates. So I said scene log XP and then thread actions. And again, you can use any of these templates, honestly, or even your own. It's just organization is key. It helps the storytellers not miss things, and it helps everything get streamlined. So you can also click select all, but you can also just highlight it. You can also use these for instance, this one has name, availability, damage, etc. This is an equipment request. And this is also an equipment request that doesn't have a damage category. We also have these equipment requests. So definitely look through all of these templates. This Goblin Debt Tracker is extremely important. And again, that would go in your first post. So now we're going to edit this. I like to give it several spaces. It looks just physically better in my opinion. So then you're going to do the name. So let's say you want Dexterity 4. Dexterity. Like I said, I'm a great speller. So then it's an attribute, and then here the cost for an attribute is 4. Our current level, we'll say it's 3. Our new level is 4. And notes, you can put anything that you think we need to know. For instance, if you want to put a minor justification in there, go for it. Let's say the next one we do is professional training. Whoop. And I am having trouble with this. Okay. Professional training. I'm glad I spelled that correctly. It would be embarrassing. That's a merit. And let's say we had it at 2. Oh, sorry. The cost is going to be 1 because we're only going to raise it by 1 dot. And we formerly had it at... Sorry, I'm used to being able to double click on a character, but the hashtag doesn't work. Now we want it to be 3. So here in professional training, if you go from 2 to 3, you get an extra asset skill. So in the notes section here, I put third asset skill occult. Or whatever you choose, obviously. So if you preview it, boom. And then submit. The reason I keep saying submit is sometimes the website does weird things. If your browser refreshes, if it crashes, if you accidentally close it because you dropped your mouse and it closed everything, you might lose everything. So the more often you save, the less likely you're going to scream in frustration because you lost everything. Not strictly necessary. You can also use a word processor to do it. I just don't like looking at code on word processors. This works fine too. And then for your final, we're going to go back to the old style templates because we haven't made a brand spanking new one yet. The weekly actions one, honestly, I think works out just fine. Control copy. Give it a few spaces. A few spaces. Again, when you preview, the spaces just make it think it looks nice and see. Actually, I should have put a couple more spaces there. you'll eventually get into your own habits and what looks nice to you. Now, with actions, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Let me get to the dice roller real quick. This is where our dice roller lives, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's also on the side of any of the chats. So we're going to go... Okay, remember how I said I can't type? John Doe. Oops. Researching. 7, pretend, and I get 9 again, because I'm doing occult research, and you just saw me buy that. By the way, you can pretend that your spends are approved when you roll things. It's very rare that we're going to say no to an experience request, unless there's something just completely nuts going on there. So what you're going to want to do here is copy your successes, or your rolls. So this one was just one roll. If you look here, it says extended actions rolls. You can erase extended if it's not extended. But we're going to actually do an extended action because I want to show you something. So you're going to paste it here. Now, it's a good practice, but not strictly necessary to also copy this link. The link does expire after a week, so it's not the end of the world if you forget the link. Really important, though, is that you copy all of this. So to insert this link, you're going to highlight it, click this. Now see how it says URL? You're going to need to write equals and then paste the link. Now, when we preview, you can see it's now made that link. Let's say you have several roles, because, research is often extended. And I'm doing really well today. Dice roller has not been kind, but of course when I'm pretending, it's perfectly nice. So there's a couple more roles. So you're going to want to just paste all of your roles. Whoop. There we go. Also, I'm a stickler for aesthetics, as you may learn. So like I said, I'm not going to bother putting the links because you already know how, but you can put the links here again or not. But definitely make sure you have the date and what you rolled, because that way we can go and look back. The links do help because the dice roller is used by pretty much anyone in the world that knows the link. It's not our dice roller, so your post could get buried. So the rolls just help give you legitimacy, or the links just give you legitimacy. I'm lazy, I'm not going to do the rest of it for this demo. Type. Investigation. Oops. Intent. To find... I can't do it. To find the hobgoblin. Dice pool. I'm going to say I did wits. Was occult. Bonuses... professional training. Hobgoblin spec. I can't spell goblin. Etc. Now, I also like to be kind and spoiler this. Just makes it look cleaner. And then I got one exceptional success. So I'm going to put 1. And what did I spend it on? Lower threshold by occult. Fluff. Just describe the action you're doing. And when we submit, boom. So see, that way it just doesn't look a lot. So it makes it nice and streamlined. And that is how you do it. Now, you're not going to want to post another post until the storyteller replies to this post. So if you get more scene logs, just add it here. If you get more spins you want to do, add it here. You only get 2 actions a week. So don't take more actions until these actions have been resolved. Otherwise, your STs may ignore your actions until they're resolved. And that is your basics on how to thread.